The only regret we have is that we haven't done this, long time ago.
Probably 5 years ago.
5 or 8 years ago would be
when I had my
perfect.
first baby.
Because, it's just having somebody on site made a big difference. Like when you were here, you helped with Anna, like with the training, motivating her, showing her how important her position was. And some things that, coming from a business coach, it has a totally different impact. And it definitely had in, everybody in the office with the teams, and they could see that, you're working hard to make changes in the company, and having somebody coming out of state, staying here, helping the business. So that was an opportunity for us to implement all the change that we always want to implement with the cleaning system, with the cleaners and everything. And was everything really smooth? Because the cleaning techs, they just took everything because they're ready to embrace and participate on all the change that we're having. So that was a big impact, having me here and motivating the cleaning techs and everybody in the office, and kind of opened up our minds, and was just fun all the time. We had a great time with you here, and it's definitely, yes, we do that again. And
I think that for me, when I go to the seminars, it's great information. It's a lot of things that I want to implement, but for my personality, especially when I get back, number one, I may have forgotten half of it, even though I have notes, and it's just kind of harder to implement. There's so many things that you want to implement, and then you're just kind of left on your own, to do it. And some people may be great at that, and some people, like me, need more hands-on. But just to have you working beside me and telling me, do you see what you're doing, or, maybe be a little bit tough talking to we've had to talk to each other a little rough a couple times, but to just just to let me see what I'm doing and how it can be done differently, and just hands-on like this, and being hands-on with my employees. It's just such a caring experience that you just can't get that on pencil and paper. You can't get that with, somebody in another city. This is just a phenomenal opportunity.
Oh my goodness, our return was huge. The training that we received from you to Norma directly with the staff, it was really probably the number one thing for us. The behind the scenes, we did so many things. The office runs without me right now. I'm going to be leaving on a 2-week vacation, and I have no worries, and it is the first time in 27 years that I can say that. So the amount of money at first sounded like a lot, having you come here, because what was it, airfare? I mean, it seemed like a lot of money. We've already gotten that back, just in me not having to take anti-anxiety medication on a daily basis has improved. Yeah. So I would, the return on investment, huge. If you can't afford to do it, put it on a credit card, get it done, because you're going to make that much more money back, not only with the business, but your life. So I would do it over and over again. We're looking forward to having you coming back in the fall when we hit our goal number of what was it, 250?
You're going to train the same next week as you did 2 weeks ago.
Absolutely not. It is such a huge change, and I don't know that I can even verbalize how different it is to learn to train properly, because nobody really teaches you how to train, and even if you were reading a manual and it was explained to you how you should train, when you actually see it in action and you see Sharon training the trainer, you realize how much you've missed and why all these little frustrations and inconsistencies that maybe we as owners or managers see on a day-to-day basis. And we, in our office, we've been asking ourselves for years, we have the same person doing the training. Why is it we don't see the results on a consistent basis? And even our new employees would always say to us, well, it's a little different when I go from that team to another team. Everybody shows it to me a little differently. And we couldn't ever seem to grasp why that those inconsistencies were happening across the teams. And so I think there are three pieces I really got out of it this weekend. One is that you've got to get that first, the buy-in that we're going to create new habits that haven't been in place. The second part is that in order for your organization to be successful, it's got to have the right structure. And that means a dedicated person training who knows exactly what they are going to do throughout the training. They know exactly, not just that they're teaching, but teaching the right way. So just as a quick, for example, not to sidetrack too much, but an example would be that we would have this new person come in, sit down, watch the video. They would watch the video the day before, they would take some notes. Next day, they would go out with, hopefully the trainer, if we had room on the team with a trainer. Maybe they would go off with one of the other supervisors who's not our designated trainer, wasn't our designated trainer, and then would come back to our designated trainer. Completely different. So now I understand they've got to watch this video a couple of times. Oh, and then when they got to the house, my instructions had been, and this was a miscommunication because I misunderstood Sharon, and that's the beauty of this weekend, the misunderstandings go away. So I would have the trainer show the person how to do it. So now they've seen the video. Now they watch the trainer, or it might be another supervisor, and then the trainer was supposed to watch them. So completely different now, because now we watch the video 2 to 3 times, and that makes a world of sense to me, because who learns it by just watching it once? I don't want to give away all your secrets.
No, do. Because again, it's going to be...
Then the person goes with the trainer. So let's say, so Sharon was the trainer because she needed to teach our trainer how to be a trainer, and needed to teach me how to be a trainer. You then take that new person and you just say, they've watched the video 3 times, they've done the written material once, now they go out and you tell them, okay, now where do you start? Go ahead and start. You've got your equipment, and that person starts to do it. And I loved every minute of it, because we had Sharon training the person who is now, because now my organization is restructured, who used to be the designated trainer, she's now the field operations person, manager. And it's funny how many times you told her how to remember these habits, which you think would have been ingrained given that she was our trainer. So we clearly were not following core, right? And throughout it, I loved the fact that you said, and this is such a great tip, you said to each person that you worked with, you said, okay, take 17 times to build a new habit. And every time she caught them doing it the old way, like having a rag and something else in their hand and now, likely to break something, she would say, okay, we're on number 5, we're on number 12, remember it's 17 times. And that's encouraging, because then you're not being a nag, you're telling them, listen, you're learning something new, and this is how you learn it, and 17 times you're going to hear me say it. And so I think that's a great tool for a trainer to have in their tool belt.
You feel the operation manager and your world changed. What happened?
Then I have the procedures. I feel more secure to go with them, to show them, to train them. It changed a lot. I feel much better with all that I learned from you.
So when I was there, we trained a person in the field we actually brought her in, orientated her for a half a day. You did it, I taught you, and then you did it. And then we trained her in the field. She's no longer there, so we didn't do very good, Carmina. But I will say that we did it the way it was supposed to be done. You watched this person and they did it exactly as it is on the core training video. Is that the way you're doing it today? Did you change anything?
Yeah. It's just the way we do. We do the videos, we do all the training, we show them all the procedures, and I follow all of them, and it makes my life easier. Yeah, that is true. I feel more confident, and yeah, I feel more secure.